What is up, you guys? Welcome back. I am so excited because I finally have my gallery wall done. I don't know why, but this just took me forever to do. It's very overwhelming to get started, so I'm gonna break it down for you. I'm gonna share my process and make it a little bit more simplified for you, because for me, doing a gallery wall was just so overwhelming to me. There's so many different parts to it. You have to pick your pictures, pick the frames, figure out where you want your frames from, and then pick a design. What picture do you want in what frame, and what design do you want to do? So I was just overwhelmed. And then the last step, if you either live by yourself or you don't know how to hang a picture or have help to hang a picture, I also learned a trick on how to hang the picture by yourself. You don't need anybody, you can do it. So I'm gonna walk you through all of the steps and how I went about creating my gallery wall. And I love the way that it turned out. So I hope you enjoy this. Please subscribe and let's jump right in. So the first thing that I did is I went on Pinterest and I found inspiration of different gallery wall ideas that I liked. I'll put some pictures on the screen here so you can see the idea and kind of like the route that I was trying to go. But to be honest, I didn't find one example that really like grabbed my attention and made me fall in love. I liked different things about different gallery wall ideas. So I knew I wanted it to be a little bit eclectic. I didn't want it to be your traditional like boom, 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 boom. I didn't want straight lines. I didn't want it so modern. Our house is so modern as it is. Our decor is so modern as it is. So if I did that here, I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt bored. I love that though in other spaces. For this space specifically, I was not a fan of. I actually, a year ago, that was my plan, but my style has changed and evolved and I've become more cozy, you know? So I felt like I wanted it to be eclectic. I didn't want it to have matching frames and I didn't want it to be perfectly straight, boxy, perfect. I wanted it to be a little bit more scattered. I also knew I wanted the frames to be different. So in this room specifically, we've got light wood, the walls are white, our floors are a deep dark gray, and then we also have black. I wanted a mixture of the black, the white, the light brown, but then I felt like it was too matchy-matchy. So that's when I incorporated the warm walnut dark brown. It's just the perfect little combo. I also mixed up having like the matte in the photo, not having a matte in the photo, and then some of the frames also are clear, so it's like a floating photo. So that's kind of where I started my decision-making process. Those are the things I knew that I wanted. I still didn't know what photos I wanted. I still didn't know exactly the pattern that I wanted, but I knew the type of frames. So then I went frame shopping. So my first stop was Pottery Barn because I'm just a Pottery Barn lover. And then I decided not to go with Pottery Barn because Pottery Barn is just so expensive. And for something like this, you can get something that looks identical to Pottery Barn quality, Pottery Barn style for way, way less. So I went to IKEA. IKEA didn't have a lot of variety. It was pretty much just black and white. And IKEA was sold out all the time. Anytime I would go to buy the frames, all the frames were always sold out. So I didn't go with IKEA, but IKEA has a really great price point. And finally I was like, you know what? I just want something easy. So I went to Target because Target's so close. Target had so much variety and I was able to exchange frames. So that was something else that I wanted when creating this gallery wall was I wanted to be able to buy the frames, try them out in my design, see them in my space, and then be able to return them if I needed to. So Target just made that easier. I liked that Target had all of the variety that I was looking for. They're not the cheapest, but they're not the most expensive. I feel like it was right in the sweet spot. The total for my frames, I think, ended up being around $150 for all of them. So for, how many frames do I have? 8? Yeah, 8 frames. I feel like that's decent. Not the cheapest, not the most expensive. So yeah, then while I was at Target, I pulled up my inspiration pictures that I'd saved to my phone from Pinterest, and I just started grabbing different frames. I started with one that I loved, that I knew that I loved, and for me, that was the center frame that I have here of my husband and I on our wedding day, and I just loved this frame. I thought it was like the perfect color, the perfect light brown, and I wanted that to just be like the center of attention. And then I just built off of that. And at that point, I still didn't know what photo I wanted in that frame. I just knew I really liked that frame. Then I went from there. I found other frames that were smaller, and there were a few frames that I like grabbed, tried to fit in, it just didn't work, or I had too many of the same, and I just did this in the aisle of Target, and I went on a not busy day because no one was around, and I just laid these frames on the floor. That is how I started this process, and I feel like that's helpful because when I started this, I feel like whenever I would go to get inspiration for a gallery wall, part of the process was already started, and I'm like, hold on, how did you begin this? Because I'm overwhelmed. Okay, so then when I got home and I got my frames, I really tried to nail down the shape and like the pattern of the frames that I wanted. I was able to see it in my space, see how much space I had, how like wide did I want it, how tall did I want it, and from there I really just did it on the floor right here where I'm sitting and played around with it, and from there I figured out what design I wanted. So I took a picture of the design that I had on my floor, and then from there I actually used my Instagram stories. I didn't post it, but I used my Instagram stories to insert pictures in each photo, and then I saved it onto my phone. That way I got an idea of like what picture I wanted where, and then if I didn't like it, I could bring that photo back up into like my stories. You know, before you post it on stories, you can add things. Yeah, that's what I did. And I mean, you can get more professional with it. You can put it into like your own editing device, or you don't even have to do this. For me, I'm just a very visual person. I wanted to see what picture was gonna look good by what picture, and that's kind of how I decided, number one, what pictures did I want, but number two, where I wanted to place them. So then I knew what to order, because that's a whole separate story. We'll get into that in a second. So the way that I went about picking my pictures is I have so many great photos from our wedding day, but I didn't want this to be a wedding day shrine. I might even swap out some of these because there's a few from our wedding day up here, but I wanted the photos to be a mixture of black and white with a mixture of color. Again, I wanted it to be kind of eclectic. I didn't want it to be like all bright colorful or all black and white. I wanted the mix. I began with the pictures from our wedding day because we do have so many amazing pictures from that day, and I picked my favorites and then I put them in an album for the gallery wall. Then I played around on the Instagram story to see what looked great where. I picked other pictures that weren't from our wedding day that I really liked that I could also add in. Then process of elimination, figured out what I wanted for the pictures, consulted Ruben, see what he wanted, what he liked, didn't like, and all of that. I also really liked this palm tree picture. This was the stock photo that came in the frame. And then I also liked this one of the city building. That's also just a stock photo that came in the frame. We'll probably swap those out eventually, but I just liked the mix, that it wasn't just us up there posing and like, you know, and honestly with posy pictures, that was like one of the only downsides of the photos from my wedding day, is that a lot of them were like posy and weird, and like, I don't like that. I want one of me like in the middle of laughing or telling a joke or just lifestyle-y kind of photos. So like that's why the main photo on this wall is us walking up the aisle after the ceremony, because it's candid, it's in the moment. The photo of Ruben and his mom, it's candid. The photo of my mom and myself, that's a candid photo. So all of those are, that's the kind of vibe I wanted to bring in life into this room, because again, our style is very modern, it's very clean lines, it's very simplistic, so I wanted a lot of life brought in through these photos. Also, the picture of Ruben and Pretzel sleeping, that's one of my favorite pictures. Ruben really was sleeping, and I came in the bedroom and she was just sleeping there too, but she like lifted her head like, what, you're bothering us, what do you need? And I snapped a picture, and it's just one of my favorite pictures, so I had to put that up there. So then the next step was ordering the pictures. I cannot tell you the last time that I ordered pictures. Well, I actually can, because I just did a couple months ago to make a vision board, but before that, it was probably middle school. Honestly, I haven't like developed pictures in a really long time. So this was fun. I just went on Walgreens website and placed an order, and my sister actually gave me a discount code that she had through Walgreens that was very helpful. It was 40% off, so I saved a lot of money, because at first it was gonna be like over, I think it was gonna be like $85 to print all of the pictures. So then I picked up my pictures, put them in the frames. I did have video footage of me doing this, but guess what? I deleted it. I laid them out on the ground just to make sure that I still liked the pattern of the frames, I still liked the pictures in the frames, and everything was good, and then it was time to hang them up. So my mother-in-law actually gave me this tip, and it was to measure out some paper for each picture frame so that I can tape it on the wall to really get a good idea of where I wanted the frames to be. Again, this is video footage that I recorded and it's gone. I'm so sorry. But you get the idea. I ended up just measuring out the paper, taping it together, and then I labeled each one with the corresponding frame. And then with painter's tape, I just taped it up on the wall. It took some trial and error. I had to move it around just a little bit, had to move the height around. It didn't take that long, and I honestly, this is like the easiest thing and what's gonna make the hanging process so fast, because then you've already done the guesswork. You're not putting holes in your wall all over, messing up, having to patch things. Because it's just painter's tape, you can move it around and it's the exact size of the frames that you're using. So I highly recommend doing this, even if like you're a pro at hanging pictures. I just feel like visually it helps you get an idea of where you want them to be. So then you want to start with your biggest picture frame. We started with the light wood frame. It's the picture of us at our wedding. And Ruben measured the distance from the top and the side of where the hook is on that picture frame. And then with a pencil, marked it on the paper. Again, then you don't have pencil marks on your wall. It's right on the paper. And then all you have to do is put your nail or your screw right through the paper. Then you take the paper off, hang up your picture, and it's in the perfect spot. It's so easy. Anybody can do this. I ended up getting Ruben's help because he does all of those types of things in the house, but literally anybody can do this. It's so easy. I know that you can also do this with like little stickers. I've heard of those like stickers that you can put on the back of them. I feel like you can still do this exact same thing with the paper so that you get a good idea of where you want the frames to be first, so that you're not like having to take them off, put them back on, and change your mind. It shows you what it's gonna look like visually so that you can really conceptualize it and then commit to the design. So yeah, once all of the screws were in, I just ripped off all of the paper, hung them back up, made sure that they were level, and it's done. I have to go through and just like wipe them down and get some of the fingerprints off and stuff, but I just love how this turned out. I love the mixture of all of the wood tones, the black, the white, just all of the variety of frames. I love the variety of photos. I just feel like it brings so much life into the space, and I can always swap them out. Honestly, now that it's up and I've got the design, it's easy to just swap out a picture if I want. I feel like I can change the palm tree picture to like a fall landscape in the fall, and then in the winter it can be like a winter wonderland. In the spring I can do flowers, whatever. I feel like it's just very customizable. I also like the design that I picked because I can add to it if I want to. Because it's very eclectic, I can add things to the sides, to the top, to the bottom, and just play around with it. And now I just feel really inspired to do this again. I really want to do a gallery wall upstairs in my hallway, but like a different vibe. I'm thinking I want all matching frames up there, and I want it to be like all white, and just, I don't know. I think gallery walls are so fun because you can show your personality through them depending on what you decide. I think another thing that would be really pretty is different shelves integrated in through the design, and you can have like a little mini shelf with a frame sitting on top of it, leaning against the wall. You can put like a little vase with flowers up there and kind of mix it in throughout the gallery wall too. I feel like the sky is the limit. You can do so many different things to show your personality through the gallery wall, and I just had so much fun. I feel like now that I've done it, it's way easier, way less overwhelming, and I hope that my process of like my trial and error and the things that I did, I hope that all of that was helpful for you. If you've been meaning to print pictures and you haven't yet, to create either a scrapbook, a photo album, a gallery wall, or even just like put pictures up in your home, this is me telling you to do it now. Honestly, like it just makes me feel so good to just be in this space. It's making this house a home, seeing pictures of our family and each other on the walls. That's what's bringing joy. I mean, we're bringing joy to the house, obviously, but like that visually is bringing joy to the space and making it our own. And I just feel like in this day and age, we just don't print pictures like we used to. It used to be the thing where I would have my film camera or like my disposable camera, and I would go and get them developed all the time, and I always had pictures to go through. And even to this day, when I go to my parents' house or Ruben's parents' house, we go through old photos, and it's just so much fun. And also, one of my favorite gifts I've ever gotten for Christmas was from this Christmas from Ruben's dad. He gave us a photo album from our wedding, but they were photos that he took, and he has this old vintage camera, and I didn't even know that he was taking all of these pictures, and it's just so special to me. And these are the types of photos, like I should have just hired him to do our wedding photos, because it's so special to me, and you're never gonna regret it. So this is your sign. Print out your pictures, hang up the pictures on the wall, make the photo album. They're all just so special, and it's all of your memories. And like, I straight up am ready to make a scrapbook club, and every couple months get together and do some scrapbooking, because it's bringing me joy, and I love it. So I encourage you to do the same. I just feel like, you know, we're just so used to having the photos on our phone, and we just go through life, and I don't know, print the pictures. You won't regret it. Anyways, that is everything for this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and that you found some tips, some tricks, things that would be helpful. And I hope that it's a little bit less overwhelming for you as well, because it was definitely overwhelming for me when I started. So please don't hesitate. Ask me any of your questions down below in the comments. I'll be down there commenting back. Hopefully I can help you. I'm definitely not a home decor expert, but I freaking love it. My mom's an interior designer and an artist, so I definitely get that passion from her, and I've had a lot of fun decorating our home, but I'm very intentional. I'm very slow about it. I don't like to buy things and then regret them and wish I didn't buy them. I don't like to waste my money. So we have really taken our time decorating this home, and I'm glad that we have, because my personal style has really shifted since we moved in here just a few years ago, and I feel like the trends in general have changed from just a few years ago. So I love all the choices that we've made. I love how it's just becoming a mix of his style and my style. I'm never just gonna go and take over the decor and then just be like, I don't care what you think, and just like do whatever I want. You know what I mean? I want this place, I want our home to feel like our home, and that we equally both love it so much. So I definitely take my time with home decor. I'm very intentional with my decisions, and I'm very happy with them. If I'm gonna invest in something, I really think about it ahead of time. I don't ever just like on a whim buy something. You know, I'm very thoughtful and intentional, and maybe that's why it's taken me so long to make this place feel a little bit more cozy and a little bit more homey. But I feel like that's normal. I feel like I can tend to like compare my space with others online, because like when people move and then they decorate and it's all done, I'm like, oh my God, like I've been in here for years and I haven't gotten anywhere close. But that's pretty normal, and I think that that's good, because if I were to have decorated this space right when I moved in to the nines, like right away, I would have wanted to change so much by now. So I have saved some money by not doing that. But anyways, yeah, if you want more home decor videos from me, let me know. I would love to share more. I feel like now I'm starting to just add the little touches here and there, and it's just been a lot of fun. But yeah, let me know what you want, because home decor content is kind of new-ish for me, but it is definitely a passion of mine, and I have a lot of fun sharing it and a lot of fun exploring it. And if you want more home decor inspo, check out my Like to Know It. I've been creating those little like collages of outfit inspo, beauty inspo, and like home decor inspo. You can also shop my space, so I link all of the things in my home on there so you can check them out. But also I put some inspiration in there as well, so that even if it's not my space specifically, I'm giving inspiration for other spaces as well. So check that out. I'll link that down below. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful. If you end up doing a gallery wall because you saw this video, please tag me on Instagram. I'll post that down below too. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.